Open a geology textbook, and you'll find the story of a slow, methodical planet, mountains rising by the millimeter, and canyons eroding over eons. This is uniformitarianism, the mainstream belief that Earth's history is a predictable, gradual crawl through millions of years. That tidy timeline is maintained through a process of knowledge filtration. When physical evidence contradicts the slow and steady narrative, the scientific establishment quietly boxes it up, dismisses it as an error, or ensures it never reaches the public record. The rocks themselves tell a more violent story. We have discovered fossilized jellyfish, creatures made almost entirely of water. They cannot sink and fossilize over millions of years. They would decay in days. Preservation like this requires the entire ocean to flash freeze in a second, locking the biosphere in stone before it can even move. Gradual evolution cannot produce a fossilized snapshot of an animal that has no bones. These fragile specimens prove that Earth has been subjected to sudden planetary-scale shocks that the mainstream model ignores. The contradictions only deepen in the lower strata. In Utah, researchers found a sandaled human footprint fossilized directly on top of a trilobite, a marine organism that supposedly vanished hundreds of millions of years before humans even appeared. Then there is the mystery of Cro-Magnon. They appear in the record abruptly, possessing brain capacities larger than our own and creating art of unparalleled detail. They didn't evolve through small steps. They arrived fully formed, already wearing sewn jackets, trousers, and hats. These clues lead to even more staggering finds: ancient iron-anchored wooden ships with well-fashioned masts, discovered by miners deep inside the solid rock of mountains in Peru and Italy. This combination of modern-style clothing and seafaring technology suggests that sophisticated human societies occupied the planet long before the dawn of writing. Their existence was simply erased by the recurring geological reboots that have scarred our planet's surface. When mapped, a mathematical pattern appears. The Archaics chronology shows these resets aren't random events. They strike at precise, repeating intervals of exactly 600 years. This regularity suggests Earth functions as a quarantined, artificially maintained simulation called the holosphere. Ancient Sumerian accounts identify the creators of this system as the Anunnaki. These off-world architects programmed this reality and manufactured the various races of humanity as a controlled population within this simulation. This artificial infrastructure includes the celestial bodies themselves. In 4039 BCE, the moon was brought into Earth's orbit to serve as a hollow governor station. Ancient records from Arcadia and Greece describe a time before the moon ever hung in the sky. We are the inhabitants of a highly regulated, artificially controlled terrarium, living through a history that is being managed from the outside. The holosphere regulates its subjects through scheduled, cyclical reboots. These events serve to depopulate the planet and wipe the cultural slate clean. These resets are triggered by massive astronomical weapons disguised as intruder planets, most notably the Phoenix and the Nemesis X object. Their transit causes instant pole shifts, sudden freezing of the biosphere, and massive mudfloods burying entire civilizations under hundreds of feet of sediment. Ancient survivors tracked these cycles. The Great Pyramid of Giza was engineered as a physical cosmic clock designed to count down the orbits of these specific destructive anomalies. Ancient accounts of world-ending floods and celestial fire serve as documented historical records of a systematic simulation reboot. Gatekeepers like the Smithsonian preserve the illusion of slow progress by censoring this cyclical history. They ensure we remain unaware of the schedule that governs our reality. The Archaics chronology serves as a predictive model, tracking a 600-year countdown that is currently nearing its end. The calculations lock on to two looming dates: the return of the Phoenix in May 2040 and the transit of the Nemesis object in November 2046. These events will involve shifting oceans, submerged cities, and the same red cosmic dust that fell during the great floods of the past. To survive the coming scheduled disruption, we must look past the narratives provided by modern gatekeepers and start reading the raw, terrifying truth preserved in the stone.